So
Okie
after couple of weeks of travel, meeting a few dangers along the way, having to cross the Ravel and all of the adventure that turned out to be, you guys have made it halfway across the continent, um, trekking farther than some of you have ever traveled before, and for others, backtracking along a path that you had taken not more than a couple months ago. But now that the entire motley crew of you all stand at the gates of Defiance, one of the last bastions of civilization here in the ruins of the once great empire of Tethys. The city is yours.
When you say it's ours, as in ours to explore, we have it now.
We have conquered the city.
You just showed up and they handed you some keys.
First order of business. Burn this fucker to the ground.
That might make the smell worse.
Temporarily.
I live here. I live here. Please don't.
Correction, you used to live here. Eh? Eh?
No.
But yes, I mean that in terms of it is free for you guys to engage with. You are standing sort of at the front. It's not really a gate, sort of front entrance to get into Defiance.
Well, home sweet home.
A first order of
Yeah.
business is Minnie needs to find an herbalist. We can buy some sage and stick it up his nose so he can stop smelling the crap factory.
Take a whiff of whatever alcohol we've got.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's unbearable. How do you live here?
Unbearable.
Clay, you?
Look, we literally went down to a place of fire and brimstone. This is a leg up.
Man, it smells a lot more pleasant than this place. Also, I believe it might have been more welcoming, too.
Hey, you'll get used to it. Now come on, I'll show you around. And Mish will take point as she leads the group into the city.
All right. So going back over some of the descriptions from last time, Defiance is what I can liken it to is something like a tiered wedding cake, built in a very haphazard way to where it's not symmetrical. Different tiers just rise without caring about the height of the one below or above it. They just form these almost stately rises that are full of stone buildings, and you can even from this distance see some of the defensive ballistae and weaponry pointed outward in all directions, just waiting for the attack that may never come from the sky above. It is a edifice of mostly dark stone interspersed with what you can see now that you're a bit closer appears to be like a white granite or maybe marble type thing interspersed throughout that gives the entire foundation of the city a sort of salt and pepper sprinkled look. At the very bottom of this fortress city, there is a carved corridor that runs right through the base of the city mountain. It is a wide and bristling thoroughfare, wide enough for like 8 carts to travel to and from side by side, that goes the entire length of the city. This is the Quarter Corridor. It is the foreign district of Defiance, and it is sort of the front door you have to step through in order to go up the myriad stairs and rises that take you up higher into Defiance.
Excuse me.
the while, Mish is just like humming as she leads the group. As she leads the group to several of her favorite hangout spots, and at Middy's like insistence, she just sighs and heads to a modern herbalist, the kind that sells scents that aren't exactly legal, but you can buy them.
There's a legal sense.
Yeah.
What kind of scent is
Just
illegal?
um the
Cheeto
kind that
Mountain Dew.
I'm surprised you know what that is.
Wait, what? I was being facetious here.
No, but like so Mish will lead them to a herbalist of the questionable kind, and just yeah, if you guys don't need to, if you need to get your fix that bad, you can always ask Joe.
Alrighty. Make an investigation check for me, Mish.
And watch, he's not even there, or he got shut down.
He's gonna bring us to a brothel.
No.
Please.
Cal wants
Alright.
fuck.
So as Mish leads you forward into the corridor, you guys are sort of surrounded all suddenly by the noise of dozens upon, almost too many people for some of you. Uh, Merchants and civilians going about their business, rushing forward and behind and past you and cutting you off, and there's foot traffic mixed in with carts and other caravan type individuals that are dragging beasts of burden and their droppings through the middle of the very, very muddy, very, very dirty street. But as you begin to get into the corridor proper and sort of go in deeper than the front step of it, which spills out to the actual side of the city proper, and you get into the part where the blue sky overhead begins to be replaced by the dark underside of the earthen material the city is built out of. It starts to smell a little tiny bit better for you, Mitty.
Just for me?
Well, for Connery too. You begin to pass by um, just dozens. You could count. You couldn't count them all on your two hands of little stalls selling lemonade and other like less child-friendly beverages. You pass by the equivalent of fantasy food trucks hawking these greasy, spicy pastries filled with meat. You pass by grilled vegetables loaded up with these um, sort of red, like chili flake type things, and just tons of food, tons of booze, tons of. It's not quite like a Mardi Gras mass type thing, but just if someone has something to sell here, they are selling it in the middle of the fucking street.
Oh right, I forgot. And is there like a timepiece that she can see?
I would say there's not one out in the open. You would know if you go quite a bit further in towards where the train station is. There is one.
Mm-hmm. And Mish would just like say, like, "Yeah, this is the morning rush hour. It's not even like early in the morning. This is just how it is on the daily, especially when you get close to lunch." Welcome to Defiance.
Why do you colonials subject yourself to this?
It's a way of living.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, you have places to go. You have things to do. It just so happens everyone here has places to go and things to do. And we're just like a little cramped. Yeah. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Passing through the hustle and bustle, dodging horse droppings in the middle of the street, Mish will eventually lead you towards most of the buildings of the corridor are these ramshackle, thrown together wooden affairs that are pressed up against the wall sides of the tunnel, and almost like fight to stack on top of each other to be seen from the street side. She just takes you to a tiny nook of a place, almost half buried by the um, what's the word, like cloth vendor that's at the top of it. But it's an apothecary. It has plenty of medicinal herbs, so to speak, hanging from the window.
Well, here we are. This is Joe's place. So just get what you need.
Mitty will go around sniffing the herbs to find the one that's most pleasant to him.
The vast majority of them smell like mildew, but make me a nature check. You guys are rolling pretty good on this stuff.
Just don't ask us to hit anything.
Or rip off a door. Or fight an old man.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, most of what you see, Mitty, is musty, dried plants, the type of which, well, I don't know if Mitty would have. You'll have to tell me, but like, you know, the kind of things that, especially the mercenaries you used to hang out with, would smoke on their downtime.
Okay.
But you do find hidden, tucked away, there are a few fragrant herbs, lavender, chamomile, things like that, tucked away that could be obtained.
Alright. Mitty will purchase some of that.
Okay, you do so from Joe, a very crotchety, very old halfling who does not recognize you whatsoever, Mish.
Oh, come on, Joe. Seriously?
Mitty's like folding the herbs and sticking them in his nostrils. Yeah, I thought you said you knew this guy.
I do. He's old. Maybe he just forgot. How else would I know to take you here?
Joe just will shake his little head. He's kind of, how do I say this? He's like sitting on a rocking chair that is mostly on the counter, not behind it. He just looks out past you. He's like, if I remembered every customer I had come through here.
You would know 12 people?
What was that? Sorry.
I said you would know 12 people.
He'll just kind of glare at you and puff on his cigarette again. You gonna buy anything else, Sonny?
Hey, Connery, did you want anything?
I don't think Connery really wants to be stuffing his nose with anything right now. So Mitty can have all the fun he wants, snorting down whatever he finds.
Mitty's off to Mars.
Yeah, I would say for a bouquet of herbs, run you like a silver, Mitty.
Okay.
But for the time being, you guys are in this little hole in the wall of, and to be fair, most places here qualify for hole in the wall in some respect or another. As some of them are literally holes in the wall, but you are tucked away in a brief lull of calm from the um, bedlam outside. Mish, there's enough places here to spend probably multiple days and not see it all, but you also know that a lot of the good stuff, and especially like more of your home and climbs and things like that, are further up within the city.
Okay. So Mitch will turn to everyone. Everybody get what they need? Because we're in for kind of a trek.
You say that as if we haven't literally been moving cross country.
You've never traveled in a city, have you? Well, time waits for nobody.
So where are you heading? What is the group wanting to do?
And Mitch will head out. Oh yeah, so she'll just turn to the rest of them like, so do you guys have any ideas where you wanted to go?
Did we get
You
an?
need to report to someone.
Well, yeah, I gotta report to superiors and all that, but is there anywhere you guys needed to go? Or wanted to go?
Not in particular. At least not for me.
Randall, what's your character's name?
Cal.
Cal, Connery, do you guys need anywhere you want to go?
I wouldn't know the first place to think of.
I mean, does anything like immediately stick out to me as interesting to go peruse, other than this ramshackle little?
Yes, where can Cal go plunder?
Yeah.
I
Where's the
mean,
nearest jewelry store?
a lot of places are interesting. There's a lot of weird, funny-looking people here. Um, the food outside, although probably a little foreign seeming with its spices and the way it makes the air taste, does sound appealing. It does make your tummy grumble. There's looks like lots of hidden nook-like stores you could slip into that have knickknacks or textiles or import things hanging out the door. But what would you like to look for?
Mm,
Do you want a jewelry store?
I mean, does Connery also see like glowing blue lines where she can just sneak around, or I'm sorry, where he can just sneak around?
what?
I don't think so.
Sly Cooper reference.
Okay.
No, unfortunately not.
No.
Connery is a wolf person, not a thievius
I meant
raccoonus.
I meant Cal. That's my bad.
Mm.
I know.
Cal.
Even then, Cal's an
Not a
elf, not a raccoon.
The correct scientific term is thievius raccoonus. Thank you very much.
I think he might, maybe not, have sticky fingers quite yet, but I am interested in seeing if I can hear anything interesting, any gossip or tidbits. So I might go get a bite to eat somewhere, to A, because my tumbly's grumbly, and B, because that's usually where you can get the good stories from.
Alrighty.
Hey,
Well, I have a question. During that night terror or whatever that Connery had, did he see anything, or was it only a voice that he was hearing?
You only heard a voice, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, Cal, you can. Do you wander off from the group, or are you bringing them with you?
Uh, I might ask if anybody's hungry. If anyone wants to meander around with me for a little bit.
Mitty's always hungry. Mitty's tumbly is grumbly.
Oh God. I can show you a few food stalls which to go to and which to avoid.
There's food stalls right here, though.
Yeah, but no, some of them you avoid like the plague. Otherwise, your rumbly tumbly will, uh,
Be
hmm,
rumbly, but
eh,
not in the fun way.
yeah,
Sure, if you'd like to.
sure. I know a few stalls.
Implying that not all of these places have a food and health safety rating.
Hush.
As you walk by a stall that has literally shish kebab fried rats.
Ugh.
Yeah, we ignore those.
Also, now it's part of our mission to find Mitty a red T-shirt.
And a jar of honey. And a
Yep.
jar of never-ending honey. Alright, so Mish will lead them further up the alleyway, or further up the roads of Defiance, and she'll stop at a nearby, I want to say, food hut, like one of those side huts.
Mm-hmm.
The cuisine she's specifically looking for is like meat skewers, kebabs, like that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
unlike the one that we saw, which were literal rats on a stick, these actually look, fresh. And
Edible.
as they were walking up and down, they would see Mish like constantly stop, stare at like the quality of the food, shake her head, and move down to the next one.
All right. Yeah. Eventually, Mish will lead you towards that's not named or have any kind of signage. Just it looks like a small one-person little combo counter plus grill space, and there is a middle-aged for a goblin woman behind the counter, kind of reaching up to put rather like not disgusting looking kebabs up on the grill surface.
Hello.
Kind of.
Uh, 6 kebabs.
Shish kebabs?
Yeah, like sticks of the special.
She'll you watch her um, curl her fingertips on the edge of the grill and doesn't seem affected by it as she just like uses it as leverage to pull her chin up over the top of it to look at you. Okay. 6 of the regular.
Yeah, and one special.
Yeah, okay. A few minutes later, you guys are presented with 6 skewers of some sort of red meat with a few vegetables. Looks like some nice hunks of darkened onion and some sort of bright red pepper, and it's decently hot. You get a feeling a lot of the food here is hot. And then the special mish has some, I would say shrimp, but they have 3 tails.
Hmm. And how much does this cost?
For the lot of it, 5 silver.
And she'll count out 5 silver coins and just give it to the goblin woman. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. And then she'll bend back down behind the grill.
And then it's at this point Mish realizes, wait, as she walks up to the group, hey Connery, can you eat these? And she points to the onions.
What the hell do you mean, can I eat these?
I don't know, like, Don't some canine folk have allergic reaction to onions?
I don't know. Here, let me try.
Yeah, we'll
Oh
find
god.
out.
He just
Oh,
grabs it and
no.
takes a bite.
You gonna roll
And
for
like
that?
she just like passes the kebabs to everyone, and she gives like the special to Mitty.
No.
Mitty eats it, stick and all.
Is- Would
Fiber.
would I can be allergic to onion?
Mm, I would say no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not dog enough.
Yeah, I mean you're part wolf, but like I don't know if that makes sense.
Not that much part.
I will say, all of the food is greasy. It leaves your fingers shiny, even with the kebab stick. It is pretty spicy compared to the fare that probably most of you are used to. It's got some strong flavors. And midi, the shrimp-like things are they're nice and like meaty, juicy, but they taste like a 9-volt battery.
Oh.
Wait, how do you know what a 9-volt battery tastes like?
You never like tested the terminals of a 9-volt?
No.
The like tingly sensation on your tongue?
You haven't moved, my friend.
Like, you've never put any batteries in your mouth?
No.
Oh my god.
That explains a lot.
It does.
I mean, the worst I've done is like when I was like a kid, I bit onto the opposite end of an already plugged in wire.
That's probably a similar taste then.
Probably.
Oh, what's not a fun taste is licking battery acid.
Why are you
Yeah.
licking battery acid?
Because I was like 6 and stupid.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, this isn't toxic tasting necessarily, but it is very much in a different way from the spiciness as you sort of get through with your first piece of shrimp. Your mouth is starting to go like numb.
What? You okay there, bud?
What the hell did
I-
you feed it?
And she just like Mish just looks to Connery, Cal, and Vinali. I don't understand what he's saying. What is he saying?
Do you eat this all the time?
Yeah? The spice is what makes it great.
It's so spicy.
So, if it's not spicy, then it has no flavor.
Cast lesser restoration on Mitty.
It helps some. Yeah, I would say it recovers some of the sensation in your mouth. But you, as the sensation rushes back to you, you realize like you are grossly over salivating now.
Oh.
Was it that good for you?
Remind me to never listen to him again.
What? It's
Sorry.
good. Spicy food is good.
This is most certainly not good.
If you're not gonna finish it, I'll finish it.
Mitty will shove it into Mish's chest.
Alright, more for me. And she'll turn to Connery, Cal, and Vinali. Want one?
Yeah, give
Mitty will shake his head vigorously towards.
And
Connery can have it.
I want it, give me.
and she'll offer like the other shrimp piece to Connery.
Hell yeah.
And
gobble
Mish will just devour the rest.
We'll cast resistance on Connery.
I think Connery likes spicy food.
Yeah, the spicy isn't the problem.
Is it the shrimp? What are they, like electric shrimp?
Mish, you would know. These are freshwater crawlers that are fished out of the lakes of Defiance.
Mm-hmm.
the Lakes of Defiance are toxic. The food can be cleaned to be edible, but anything that's fished out of there is affected by the pollution of the lake.
That just gives it the extra kick.
Yes, these are
This is
safe.
literally the three-eyed fish from The Simpsons, except tails.
When cooked properly and cleaned, things like this and the fish you can get out of it are safe to eat in anything but the largest quantities. But they have a weird tingly electric thing going on, and definitely a lot of foreigners wind up having upset stomachs after eating it too much.
Would you describe the feeling like a Szechuan bud?
Yeah, like buzz buttons.
Yeah.
That is what it's like. All of the meat of everything is infused with buzz buttons.
Nice. So Mish is just like happy, like she just finishes the rest. How are you feeling, Connor?
Conry's just like, he's chewing on it and then stopping for a moment for the buzz, and then he goes back to chewing on it. He might be giggling a little bit because it just feels so fucking weird.
Alrighty.
While you guys are eating, Cal, make me a perception check.
Wow.
Not only do you not glean any useful information, you lose information.
I am so distracted by the show y'all are putting on. I don't notice shit.
The chicken walks
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, you guys came over here partly so that you could get some rumors, but there's such a genuine interest in this food drama that you don't pay attention, you forget to.
So has anyone just been staring at the overly salivating bear?
Yeah, there are a lot of people seem too busy or too like focused on their own shit to pay much attention to you guys, but Midi's getting a few stares, absolutely. Especially as you're sort of sitting at the stall and eating, like other people that are coming to get food see you guys and are like head turning at the giant bear.
I just imagine in like true New York fashion, a lot of them are just like, ugh, fucking tourists, get out of the way!
Well,
He's like, this ain't even the weirdest shit I've seen today.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, if you guys want to see the weird shit, I can show you like the entertainment district. Whoo boy.
I'd say at a certain point, as you guys have been, it took you a little while to travel down. I mean, Misha's right. Traveling in the city is slow, and especially as you were sitting and eating. Um, Enough time has passed that you will hear off in the distance, not super close to you yet, but all of you will hear a very loud, um, not very high pitched, but very loud whistle, which most of you probably flinch at, but Mish, you are so used to it you don't even notice the sound of the train arriving.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine.
Weird that this. Go ahead.
I imagine Mitty and Conry probably get it the worst and probably flinch real bad at that.
I've always wanted to go on a ride on that thing. I suppose we'll get our chance soon enough.
Yeah. Like, I'd agree with you, but God, the sound of the brakes make is just, ugh. I hate that.
You'd think you'd be used to it.
Oh no, I am. I just hate the screech. Like, you never get used to the screech. You know?
No.
Yeah, fair.
I thought he was an okay character, but I preferred Zach.
What?
What?
Thank you, Ezra.
You're welcome.
But yeah, now with lunch over, that was fun. Mish will lead them to like the Artisans District, which is like again further up. And as they reach, Mish will explain. So if you guys like have any shopping, like spells, scrolls, equipment materials like whetstones and such, you can get them here. And if you can't find it right away, ask someone. Someone usually has it. Usually.
Yeah, so Mish will take you after you eat around back sort of towards more the front of the tunnel. And you had to pass this coming in. You'll see on both the left and right of the street there is a gap in the overcrowded buildings on the side where wood gives way to just a set of really broad, impressive, awesome stone stairs that just go straight up and then switch back around the other way and carry you probably on about um, 15 to 20 feet. Oh, no, actually, for the first tier, almost like 30 to 45 feet up before you get up to the first tier of Defiance proper. And they are quite wide, quite populated, and there's a constant stream of people going up and down them on either side of the street. Uh, Mish, you would know that they do not go to the same place. The different sort of circuits of Defiance's tiers do not all connect to one another. So sometimes if you're high on one circuit and want to go to the other side of the city, you have to go all the way down and all the way back up the other staircase.
That's gross.
Yep. It is what it
I-
is.
Again, Mitty will say, "Why does anyone actually live here?"
Because it's convenient usually.
How?
Well, here's the thing. If you know how to get around, you can get around.
It still doesn't make it convenient.
It's
Oh,
literally the opposite of convenient.
if you know the ins and outs, it's very convenient.
Do you know shortcuts between the two?
I wouldn't call them shortcuts, but
They're not convenient.
well, no, as in like I can show you a few alleyways that'll help us avoid the worst of the traffic.
She leads you up.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the convenience isn't so much from the size, so much as it is what the size brings. Variety.
Yeah.
Certainly a variety of smells. I don't think any of
Yeah.
them good.
Also, Mitty, watch your foot. Yeah, you don't want to step on that.
Ugh.
So, up the rise, she leads you through the very first tier, with which you mostly just skip right past. It appears to be primarily residential, but residential for those that have earned or can afford living not within the corridor. She leads you up to a second and then a third tier, and at this point, you are actually quite a decent little bit off the ground, and the view is opening up as you go higher and higher. She leads you around towards the sort of northwestern side of the spire, and you are approaching what you saw from a distance before, which are the fleet of water towers and exhaust pipes and chimneys and just these almost octopus-like splaying of so many metallic arms that dip down off of this rise and into the lake below, from which you can see just the water around it in the immediate vicinity just bubbling and hissing with gases that burn off green and pink and blue. The district itself is like the blacksmith tent at a Ren fair, the size of a city block. You see people, artisans forging swords, sets of armor, some a lot more intricate Magitech equipment, the kind that you've seen Mish wear. You see individual tents. You see huge pavilions with multiple craftspeople working together to forge some sort of more involved project. But beyond all that, you see crowds of people that are spectating the affair. They have bags of peanuts and other snack foods that they are heckling the artisans and egging them on, and some of them glass blowers and masons and the like sort of like take their cajoling in stride and are almost doing like performative craftsmanship, if that makes any sense.
It's like competitive basketing.
Yeah, to an extent.
Connery's definitely gonna get drawn to that glass blowing. Bright lights and colors distract him.
Yeah, I mean it looks like this might not have been what Mish meant, but there is a certain casting of this place as a pseudo entertainment district of people just going to watch the artisans work.
Mm-hmm.
But Mish leads you here, and you can announce that you have entered the Hide Skewer Siege Works.
What was it? The siege works?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I heard that right.
Hide, Hide. Yeah, there you go. And
Ah,
as they enter, you see Mish actually look kind of excited. Actually, I wonder if they got my order ready.
order for what?
You'll see. And she leads you guys down like another spiral of hallways past various artisans doing their work. And she'll lead you to a stall where you'll see a half orc working on something or other. It's very delicate work, and you'll see as he finally pops up for air, you suddenly just jump on his back. It's like, "Hey, get dressed." Hi.
Standing up from the anvil that he is assembling the precise elements of some sort of Magitech machinery, Gedris just stands up and is like completely unfazed by the weight of Mish on his back.
Hi.
His shoulders, the shoulders of this half orc, barely contained in his sort of white craftsman coverall, like could fit like three of Mish standing side by side. He'll just rise and, well, only one person I know would commit a sexual assault this broadly in the middle of the day.
This is not assault. This is just a hug. By the way, is my order ready?
Is your what ready?
You know, the upgrade I asked about for charity?
Oh, you mean how you were always begging me to give you more free shit?
No, I actually offered to pay for it this time.
Hey, you have money to pay?
You know, with guild influence and stuff.
The orc, still carrying Mish without seemingly any effort, turns and looks at the rest of you, sort of lifting goggles up out of his eyes, and you can see sort of off gray skin, dark hair. He has a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on. He's fairly handsome, if by human standards, if a bit rugged. He matches sort of the physicality that you expect of half orcs and their kind, Mitty. He'll just sort of examine you all, and sort of hold out a hand to the closest one and say, well, if you're friends of Mish's, Gedris Tane, I'm a guild bonded craftsman here.
Friends is a strong word.
Vanale Hondes, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, he'll shake your hand, Vanali, and kind of a oven mitt compared to your more scholarly hands.
Oh yeah.
He'll give it a firm shake and say, "Yeah, friends with Mitch is strong words for most people, but she's here, and so are you.
What does that mean?
It means you're a handful, little one."
In your case, quite literally a handful.
Hey, you gonna get down anytime?
Fine, fine. And she just lets herself like off his back, and like I have Mish at like short height. Compared to Mish, like how tall is he?
I mean, he's not weirdly beyond human standards the way that Mitty is. He's probably like 6 foot something, 6'1", 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
I win.
Like
Okay.
Mitty is huge by average human standards.
Mm-hmm.
He's as tall as he can physically be without being the next height classification.
Yeah. But Gedris will kind of, freed now, bend down and pick up. You can see whatever he's working on. You're not, super sure. It looks like something that can't be more than the size of like a deck of cards, but it is a solid little piece of metal with some really intricate um, engravings and not quite calligraphy, but you can see some rune work and the likes that he'll pick up and go walk over to the other side of his little canopied enclosure, put into a shelf, shut the drawer, and say, "Well, apart from freeloading, what was it that I could help you with today?"
I was asking for Charity's upgrade. Uh,
Look, Mish, you've been gone a little while, and things have been busy here. I haven't had time to work on anything for, fun. Nothing unguild approved.
what do you mean non-guild approved? I thought I gave you the approval. Don't tell me that Mom actually came by and said to disregard it.
He'll just kind of raise a hand and scratch at the back of his head and say, "You're not supposed to be putting orders in with the guild, Mish. You know that."
Aww. Like Mish will just make the sound of what everyone can just call an annoyed cat. As she just like grumbles. Fine. By the way, how is everybody since I left?
He'll kind of blink a bit at the abrupt change in the conversation. I don't get up to the needfuls very much. I hear the firekeepers keeping well. Um, That's about as much as I could tell you.
Like, Mish is still just going to be grumbling. Like, fine, go see Mom and Dad, see if I can actually get that approved. Could have sworn I had that approved. Ugh.
Mitty will he'll kind of bend over to Cal and whisper in his ear. I know I've joked about Mish being a princess, but it's sounding more and more plausible.
I am not.
How did you hear that?
I have good hearing.
Cal will lean even further near him then and whisper, I think you might be right.
Gedris sits down on, the singular chair he keeps by his anvil, reaches down and gets a huge, not quite like a gallon of milk thing, but that equivalent size of a water bottle, and just quaffs like a third of it. As he puts it down, he'll say, "Look, little one, it, if you want to get something done properly, you might be able to work something out, but you can't just file an order you have no means of paying for."
And, like, Mish will just grumble. Fine.
Well, how much would it be?
Money's not the biggest object right now. The guilds, all of them are struggling because we're not getting the raw materials from Twain that we had been, and a lot of orders are backed up right now.
What's going on with Twain?
If I don't get up to the needfuls, I don't hear nothing about the politics either. Big Bear friend, um, I heard there's having some sort of issues with the foundries, and we're not getting the sky iron that they promised us.
Did it seem more like a trade negotiation issue or an actual supply problem?
Well, the merchants have their knickers in a twist, so I think it's something more about they're just having trouble making it, which means something must be going wrong at the irons, and that's bad.
Yes, it certainly is.
I don't know what you get up to these days, Mish, and whatever friends you've made. If you found some way to procure supplies, then I'm sure there's something we could talk the guild into letting me do a little passion project on the side. But I can't pull from our stores for you.
Okay. Like, if you told me there was like a supply issue, I would have backed off on it months ago.
No, this
Like,
is recent, Mish. This has
Oh.
happened since you've been gone.
Oh. God damn it. Alright. And what'd you say the stuff was called? Sky Iron?
Yeah, it's sky iron. It's this alloy they make over in near Twain anyway, in the Irons Foundry. Uh, really great stuff. Works well with Magitech and takes enchanting really well.
Mm-hmm. Alright. We'll see what we can do. It's a nice talking with you, Gedrust.
Before we go, you think you could do anything with this, perhaps? And Vinali is going to show him the crystal.
The Tethian one,
Yeah.
he'll take it from you and sort of heft it in his hands. He'll bring his goggles back down and look at it. Huh. Well, this does seem like genuine Tethian article. Where'd you find that?
Trade caravan, actually.
Go figure. A lot of these have, well, not been making their way this high recently. People have been selling them down in the corridor for more money than the guilds can afford to pay.
This one is a little scuffed, but I was hoping it could prove useful in some creation or another.
Yeah, crystal works isn't my specialty. I know a few guys, but I think your best bet to getting this appraised would be to head over more towards the bookworms and probably have them take a look at it. He'll snap over to get your attention, Mish, and say, take him to one of the Glass Reaver places. I'm sure that one of the rune shapers there would be able to help him.
Alrighty. And Mish, like, still looking a bit dejected, will just, like, head out and lead Vinali to, like, a glassworks, or what did you say, the glass shapers?
The Glass Reaver longhouses are another district of the of Defiance. It's where there is a district for the hunters. The Glass Reavers are the district for the delvers. It's where they go to offload the treasures they find exploring the ruins. It's also sort of where the magical hub of the city is.
Okay. And so Mish will lead them there, though I'm assuming it's quite a walk.
Yeah, you're looking at a couple more rises up.
Yep.
But as you guys turn to go, Gedrist, as PC's Mish leave, will put a hand on your shoulder, Midi, and try and hold you back for a second.
Uh-oh, about to get in a fight.
Please no.
Mitty will he'll look at the hand, and he'll look at the owner of the hand, and he'll say, "What's on your mind?"
I don't know you very well, friend, but is she causing you trouble?
Mitty will contemplate for a little bit, and he'll say, "How do you want me to answer this?"
Nothing but.
If is it the kind of trouble that you don't mind putting up with, or is she causing you a real problem?
Well, I'll put it this way: she hasn't broken my patience yet.
Well,
Flashback to Mitty choking Mish.
That was for safety. That was for the safety of everyone, and for
only on Sundays.
yeah.
Only on days that end with Y.
She's
Only on
devoured
days.
one soul so far.
Speaking of days that end with Y, did you come up with a week, Harry?
Not yet.
I'm just joshing you, you're fine.
I should. I just was making more Defiance this week.
Oh, it's obviously the 8th day of the week is the Spadoinkle Day.
The what?
No, you haven't seen Cannibal the Musical?
No.
Gedris will withdraw his hand and say, alright, she doesn't keep a lot of friends for long. I've been around her long enough to know that, and if you guys needed help, her temple has people that know how to take care of her.
Fair enough. But I think at this point, what we've been through together, I guess we're practically family. Whether that's a good thing or not, that's yet to be seen.
Take care of her then, and she's as liable to run in front of the cart as she is to stop for it, so keep a hand on her.
Oh, trust me, I'm well aware and ahead of you on that.
He nods, does a little, not hard, but he'll sort of like fist pap you on the shoulder and then turn back towards his work.
That's a declaration of war.
Outside, Mish feels vaguely insulted for some reason.
Would anyone else have heard that conversation?
He definitely waited for Mish to leave. So just if you think your character like hung back, you might have.
And I was following Mish, so I definitely wouldn't have.
I might have lingered a little bit, but I wouldn't be trying to eavesdrop. Just making sure Mitty came out eventually.
Yeah, and the whole thing took like not even a minute, and Mitty is able to rejoin you guys.
Just making sure you don't hear the sounds of punching and equipment crashing.
Yeah, that would
No
be bad.
suplexes.
Hey, Mitty has only had to fight shopkeepers because of other people's actions, alright?
You mean because of your own action?
No. I had to protect party members.
That was my
From
fault.
what?
Do you not remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was my fault.
And Connery's for being so easy to be told what to do.
Just go take a shit in the corner. All right.
He
Sure.
peed and shit.
It would have been a lot. It would have been a lot harder to get away with that. The back arch would have given it away a lot sooner.
Yeah, but then he would have the zoomies afterwards.
Remember, when you
That's
do that,
true.
do not break eye contact. Established on
So was Gedris's the only thing you had wanting to do in the hide skewers, Mish?
She would have shown Venali the. Well, you said the rune crafters are in a different area, right?
Yep, totally different district.
Would you say that it'd be fair, like, for firearms or at least crossbows that also are made at the hide skewers?
Yeah, basically all weaponry and armor and things like that are made here.
She would have shown Cal the various firearms and such. And even have shown, like, Conry, who mostly fights with his fists, these wonderful items called knuckle bracers.
Don't need those, but thank you.
You seem to be forgetting that I'm packing natural weapons. I call them shock and awe.
Did you name your fists, Mitty?
I named my paw.
Yeah, you spend some time showing people around, and Conry gets distracted by a couple of the sparkly performances people are doing.
Are there any, like, physical objects that might draw Connery's attention?
How so?
Just, like, anything that might spark some kind of, anything, really, in him. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Find things that spark joy.
Yeah, let's find things that spark joy.
Just start picking up random things. This does not spark joy.
That
Looking
would be
around,
like the most soul-crushing critique to just like walk up to an artist and say, "This does not bring joy," and then walk away.
Connery somehow managed to become an art critic.
Accidental art critic.
like those meme curators on Steam that just review the same thing every time.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite game on the Citadel.
Yeah, I would say looking around, there's definitely energy here in this place that is enjoyable for you. Even if you are, uh, you don't remember where you came from, but looking at like your party members, you'd think you should feel more like MIDI than the furless ones, but you kind of don't mind being here in Defiance, if that makes any sense.
Okay. It's interesting.
But nothing, no physical object really speaks to you besides just how, pretty they are and like,
Pretty sparkly, colorful things that just leap out.
yeah, I mean, they got the artisans that are working the crowds know what they're doing, and they're have little sparklers and fireworks and things like that. It's very distracting.
Just imagining Connor with his ears perked up, eyes wide, and like his pupils blown, and he's just like flicking his head around to everything going on around him.
So there's fireworks. Is Connery trying to climb under tables and stuff?
Yeah. He's like, oh.
Loud noises, no like.
It's decently orderly. No individual is making too much of a spectacle as to detract from the others. Despite the separation of individuals, you get the feeling that like they work together here in this district pretty well. They have rules and things like that.
We live in a society.
I think it was said Cal Mish does show you. Um, they don't have the largest supply or showpieces of them, but there are a few firearms here in the district of um, some nice quality boomsticks that they're showing off. Mostly, it looks like as display pieces, and less that they're really trying to push them. But I think this is the first time you would have seen firearms like on display like that.
Yeah, since probably since my ship.
Hmm.
He is interested.
It does seem like there is a mix of the black powder and the Magitech styles, but for what Mish is showing you, the ratio is like 80-20 black powder to Magitech here.
Okay. Can I go take a peek at the powder? Like a display with powder guns?
Yeah, they're out and open, and you are not the only one looking. I mean, the crowds aren't very thick here, where there's not action, but there's a few people looking around at sort of the almost like craft fair type of thing going on here, and it's just a wall with like a very very small fantasy appropriate gun shop. Essentially, is what you're looking at.
I'm trying to remember. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I was going back through my thing to see for my plundered treasure to see what I needed to do for that, or what that blurb said. Do any of them look like they would know how to fix them, or are they just selling like wares that they've gotten?
What you see here seems to be mostly just a display case. You could
Okay.
ask if you wanted to.
I think I would. I think I would. I think I would go up to the one that has weapons most resembling the broken gun that I've kept, and just go and strike up a conversation with them.
Okay, you see a elven man of kind of indeterminate age, as a lot of pure-blooded elves are. Long, little greasy blonde hair, who isn't in the process of forging something. He's arranging goods on the shelves of the display cases, and sort of cleaning and polishing the glass at the countertop, under which you see several incredibly intricate and complex, like clockworky pieces that are kept like on velvet cushions. And as you approach, he'll sort of look up from his rag and say, "Can I help you with anything?"
I was looking to see if y'all do repairs, or could point me in the right direction, maybe.
Repairs. What is it that you need repaired, my friend?
Uh, he'll dig through his bag and withdraw the fairly gnarled gun that he's been holding onto for quite a while now. That's just kind of been in the back of his bag, in the back of his mind, and put it up on the counter.
You see the elf go to start reaching for the object, and then sort of catch himself, look back up at you. May I inspect the article?
Sure.
As soon as the like S sound comes out of your mouth, you just see his like long, almost spindly fingers kind of reach down and sort of gently lift up the object, turning it over and around and like looking uh, into the barrel of it. You'll see him drag a thumb pad on the underside of it, of the barrel, and pull it away, sort of see the black dirt that comes off on his finger as he does so. Yes, this object appears to have seen some better days, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's seen quite a bit of the sea, and I've not been able to find a place or to fix it or fix it myself since it was given to me.
Yes, sea, you said. I'm sure there's some salt buildup on the mechanisms, then that's going to be very difficult. By my estimation, this appears to be something of the design coming out of Lucindil. Not exactly native to these parts, I'm sure you'll understand.
Right, of course.
Still, not without or beyond our capacity to fix. I'm not sure what your time frame is, friend. I'm sure that we could contact my guild head, and an appointment and appraisal could be made, and the potential, assuming you have, the funds, of course, that within a few months' time we could have this turned around.
A few months?
Well, I wouldn't want to prematurely make any promises, but perhaps longer, depending on how busy the guild's affairs are. I'm sure you'll understand, but um, at the minimum, certainly a few months.
Is Did Cal go off by themselves, or
No, I led them around.
okay. Mitty will kind of jump in and say, thought business was slow because of the lack of material.
Oh, you are well informed, my like he kind of has to perk his chin up to look up at you. Very well informed for a bear.
What's that supposed to mean?
Means you're well informed and you're a bear. Keep up.
There have been certain material shortages recently. Different guilds are handling it different ways. For a material like this, thankfully, it doesn't rely on too many sensitive supplies. It would be more a matter of labor and the requisitioning of that.
I see. That makes sense.
If you were willing to negotiate a joint contract, perhaps between a few guilds that could trade off individual craftsmen to work on it, that time could perhaps be shortened, although I'm sure you will understand the financial imperative will increase the more parties you involve in this endeavor.
Well, we're not planning on sticking around here very long, and by the time we do make our way back here again, a few months will probably have passed.
I just don't know when, if we'll be back around here. Is there anything I can do in the meantime to work on it? Like anything that I could do to clean it up?
Uh, I mean, some rudimentary home cleaning would make it more presentable, but assuming you wish to use the artifact and not simply have it as a mantelpiece, the inner mechanisms will have to be repaired, I'm afraid. If it's a display piece you want, that turnaround can be much quicker. Will be a handsome gadget for your mantle.
No, I want to use it like it was once used. Do you know about how much that would what you think that would be? How much that would cost?
Given that the rates for an individual craftsman are always in flux, and especially these days, I will try to uh, undersell how much I think it will be. If you just wish to involve my proprietors, probably somewhere within the realm of 2,000 gold pieces, we'll be able to see this artifact to completion. Uh, I'd say if you increase that amount by half again for each additional guild you wish to involve, we could shorten the time exponentially as trading off who's working on it during each other's downtimes.
Well, I definitely don't have a fraction of that kind of money on me right now, but maybe can I get a name for your guild, and I'll keep that in mind for next time we come about, and hopefully I'll have a little more gold to my name.
Well, I personally work out of the Red Drums, but you can find all of the information for all of the artisan guilds here within the Siege Works at the Ogun Hall, or even at the Guild Hive, where communiques between the different districts' guilds work together. Um, it would be a shame to see this piece squandered. If you don't have the capacity to have it repaired, would you be interested in selling it?
No. If it ends up just being something to look at, if it can't be fixed, that's fine, but its home is with me.
Well, very well. He'll kind of, again, with the very long and delicate fingers, just push the gun back across the glass towards you.
He'll thank him and squirrel that back away in his bag.
If and when you should come across more funds in the future, you can take the artifact and any requests you have for work to be done to the hall in the middle of the district, and the available guilds will bid to receive your contract.
Okay.
Well, if that is all, then I bid you good day.
Yep, that would be all. I'll rejoin the rest of the group if they weren't already there. I know Mitty came walking over, but
He will dismiss you with the squeak of a rag on glass as he goes back to polishing it.
I take it didn't go well.
could have been worse, could have been better.
That's the flip chance you get with the guilds. One day you'll find like them scrambling to take any commission. The next day, all of them are busy. It's part of it. Yeah, it's part of the daily gamble, you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, I think we can leave here and we can actually head up to the what were they called again? Rin?
The Glass Reavers?
Yeah, the Glass Reavers.
Well, Cal, if you need money and it's very important to you, I suppose I could part with this crystal. That orc fellow was saying that these are selling for a pretty penny.
They might be, but he was saying it was gonna be like 2,000 gold. I'm sorry, I'm like having a coughing fit. Well, we'll come around to it when it's meant to be.
Well, if these Glass Reavers can't do anything any particularly interesting with it, I suppose the offer stands if you want to take a shot at selling this.
That would be on you, my dude. I wouldn't want you to sell that if it was something that you also cared for. So he'll kind of pat him on the back, and his approval rating has gone up. Very sweet of him.
Cal will remember that.
The lasting legacy of Telltale games.
Right.
Right, so you guys head out to the longhouses.
Mhm.
Sounds like the plan.
Just going to all the shopping districts.
Yeah.
This is Mish's like tour leading them around, where to find the best deals.
And the worst food.
The food wasn't that bad.
Literally was poison.
Nah, it wasn't poisoned.
It was fun.
It was denatured poison.
Yes.
I didn't mention it, but um, compared to even down below and the other districts you have been crossing through, the siege works, just by the by, were foul to you, Midi.
It's a good thing he stopped and picked up the herbal nose plug.
that is right near where all of the byproducts are created, which are dumped down into the lake.
That caused those toxic fish.
Yep.
Lone midi tier.
So as you guys follow Mish once again beyond, and there were some crowds at the siege works, and there's still people about. But generally speaking, as you have ascended, the huge thrum of the crowd has decreased, and it seems like the population of Defiance generally, skews downward the higher up the city you actually go. But as Mish leads you towards the Glass Reavers, you will see a much more quiet and tame district of primarily a series of, as the name suggests, long, relatively stout one-story buildings, almost kind of Viking in style, with primarily made out of wood and thatched roofs, which is a downgrade from the mostly stone affairs that the proper Defiant City's been made out of. But you see some individuals running about, most well, not running, more leisurely walking around, primarily robed and more mage-like looking individuals, but also quite a number of people that look more like Venali's creed, adventurers, Indiana Jonesy type, uh, you know, rough and tumble folks that are coming in bearing um, canvas bags of gold and treasures and some crystals, not terribly unlike the ones that Venali has, although generally much smaller, and just other weird oddities that they have salvaged from the ruins around the area that they have come here to offload. So, as you come to this district, though, why don't we take a little 5 or 10 minute break and then we can get back into it?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.